script this video, I am using an HP Pavilion G60-235DX. It originally came with Windows Vista, but instead, this one has Windows 7 installed, specifically Windows 7 Home Premium. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we're reviewing the HP Pavilion dv1000, specifically the dv1321us. I got my hands on this laptop through Facebook Marketplace for a total of only $10. This laptop came with a hard drive with a bad needle. Not only would it not boot to the operating system, but the hard drive smelled like body odor. Another issue I had with refurbishing this laptop was the hard drive caddy. It also smelled like body odor, but I sunk it in Febreze and then let it dry out. When I tried to remove the bad hard drive from the caddy, I noticed two screws were stuck. It took me around 30 minutes trying to get them off, and by the time I successfully removed the hard drive from the caddy, I was covered in sweat, my hands sore, and my fingers reeking of metal. I originally got an HP Pavilion dv1000, but it is a freaking lemon, as it was extremely slow to install Windows, and when it restarted from the installation, it was stuck on a black screen. I waited and waited and waited, but it just would not boot the Windows. After my first major loss to my hoard, I took the hard drive and put it in the dv1000. Despite its size, it installed really fast. I guess the dv8000 was a stubborn teenager. Anyways, the drivers were really easy to find. I used hpnotebookdrivers.com, no spaces, no caps, to find the matching drivers. They are reliable and give you the authentic softback file. Since HP is so corporate, they remove all things related to retired home computers after 10 years. I will leave a link in the description for drivers. Anyway, let's get right into the scrutiny. First on our list is the specs. This laptop sports an Intel Pentium M725 processor labeled as Intel Centrino Mobile Technology. It's something I call the bullshit label of doom. Anyways, the processor speed is 1.6 GHz, surprisingly fast for a laptop this size. This laptop comes with Bluetooth, surprisingly, and supports wireless 802.11g with its internal Intel and wireless card. This laptop uses DDR type RAM and comes standard with 512 megabytes. The maximum amount of RAM supported by this motherboard is 2 gigabytes. The laptop comes with integrated graphics labeled Intel Graphics Media Accelerator 900. Speaking of the graphics, we get to the display, which sports a 14-inch WXGA/1280 by 768 TFT display with over 167 million colors. The entire machine weighs roughly 2 pounds, including the battery. Anyways, let's get to the ports. On the back, we only have one port, the power jack. On the left, we have standard VGA output, a proprietary PCI Express/docking station port, an Ethernet and phone port, one USB 2.0 port, a PCMCIA port with a remote included, and the Kensington lock. On the front, we have a microphone jack and two headphone jacks. On the right, we have HP Super Combo Card Reader, which I've talked about on previous reviews, one USB 2.0 port, one IEEE 1394 digital, which I stupidly used to refer to as mini display port, an 8X Max DVD plus RW/R and CDRW combo drive, also known as the Super Combo Drive, one S-video out, and finally a very lonely USB 2.0 port. The laptop also has a hidden IR sensor in the back black bar, and next to it is the latch. As you can see, it opens right up. Besides the standard keyboard, this laptop includes back and OK buttons, supposedly to make your Windows experience slightly less annoying. See what I did there? Luckily, they're spaced away from the arrow keys just enough so you don't accidentally press them. The laptop has a power button whose color contrasts that of the other buttons. I think it would have looked better if HP made it match, but I think they did it to tell it apart from the others. The buttons to the right of the power button include two HP Quick Play buttons. which can play DVDs and CDs without booting the operating system. During Quick Play's heyday, it was heavily advertised. Now the buttons to the right of those are media controls, which include fast backwards, play/pause, fast forward, stop, lower volume, mute volume, and increase volume. There's also a designated button to disable Wi-Fi. Before we power it on, there is one interesting quirk. While you can control this laptop with the trackpad, there is an optional stylus, which only came with models pre-installed with Windows XP Tablet PC Edition. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those models. Anyways, let's power it on. Alright, I think it's due time I make a video using a script. So anyway, I will press the power button. As you can notice, it has a yellowish tint, but once Windows XP loads, it's hardly noticeable. Alright, now that Windows XP is loaded, it's about time we take a little tour and see how good this laptop performs. About the Intel Graphics Accelerator I mentioned earlier, if we double click on this icon in the tray and then go to Graphics Properties, it brings us up the settings. And if some of you are very familiar with this screen and you have a newer laptop, it's because Intel really doesn't change the GUI of the Graphics Accelerator too much. Anyway, we're going to hit OK since we don't need to change any settings. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is play Sonic Robo Blast 2, which has kind of become a staple in my reviews. Alright, this is Sonic Robo Blast 2, and here it runs very smoothly. As you can see, I'm experiencing no lag. It's just that the frame rate isn't exactly the best. The input is right on time, and there isn't any delay. This is a very pleasant experience. As you can see, I'm taking my usual route when playing the game. Now, there is something I must say about Sonic Robo Blast 2. The level that I am on, Castle Eggman, is not the first level of the game. It is just where I left off on the save state on my original computer before I put it on the flash drive that I used to refurbish these computers. So that's why I always leave off on Castle Eggman. As you can see, because I am not an epic pro elite gamer, I lost. One thing I must say about this game that is really annoying is that when you die, it takes a long time for you to respawn. The laptop hasn't overheated quite yet, unlike the other laptops which instantly overheat. And all those laptops were by HP, of course. This laptop was also heavily advertised by HP, which kind of goes to show, the ones that they heavily advertised are the ones that they want most people to get. They're the ones that usually end up being the good computers. A few notable examples are my HDX 16. They advertised it 2 times, which resulted in standard amounts of sales. The dv1000 was advertised once, which gave it quite a few sales, but not too much. The dv1000 was advertised 10 times, and even promoted in the Super Bowl, which increased its sales. The laptop size also played a key role into its sales. It fits tightly into homes and in busy families, or just businessmen in general. So because of this, it was a great success. And by great, I am not kidding, since this laptop is not defective in any way. While it is not as good as the likes of Dell, it is definitely one of the best things HP has put out. Sonic Robo Blast 2 runs fine on this machine, but I think it's due time that we find out how the other game plays. And that other game is Sonic 3D, the fan game, which runs on the Duke Nukem 3D engine. Let's see how smooth this game runs on a somewhat compact laptop. As you can see, I'm experiencing minimal lag, but since this is an almost fully 3D game, there is still lag present. But it should be expected, because this game has mostly 3D models, while low textured or high textured. It appears that I made a wrong turn. Wow, I guess I am not an epic pro elite gamer. I take back what I said earlier. There's actually no lag present, only when the game starts. I suppose this is due to not all the assets loading, and that they load while you are playing the game. Anyways, if it can run the Duke Nukem 3D engine with all 3D assets, I am probably sure that this could probably run more games, such as Quake, quite nicely. Now, as for Crysis, I do not suspect that it will run on this machine. Wow, I screwed up again, how surprising. I think that is enough with this game. As you can see, it runs very well, so we accomplished something here. Now next up, we must go to HP Total Care. Let's see what it says about this laptop. As you can see, it is correct. This is a dv1000. Everything listed here seems to be correct. Installed hardware. Alright, now that the installed hardware has loaded, let's see. The local disk has a total of 80 gigabytes, but it shows 74, probably because it's reserved. The display is obviously a generic plug-and-play monitor as described by Windows by default, although it is obviously made by Samsung. The video card is of course correct, integrated graphics made by Intel. The video card, which is the same thing, is also integrated graphics. I wonder why it says it twice, maybe because it has two drivers for two separate tasks. but I do not understand that yet. The sound card is absolutely correct. Integrated audio produced by Conexant. The USB controller is of course manufactured by Intel, and it is correct. The network card is incorrect. This is not a Realtek card, it is an Intel card. Unless, there we go. This one is correct. It is Intel Pro Wireless, and that is the correct one. So it just lists all the installed hardware. So that is all. While this laptop came standard with 512 megabytes of RAM, this one has been upgraded to 1 gigabyte. While there is much more I can review on here, I can't review more because the Wi-Fi won't connect. Why? Because the wireless card is not supported by Xfinity Xfi, so I will not be able to test out the browser capabilities. So, unfortunately, that's the end of the Windows XP tour. Thank you for watching this scripted video. So, this was the HP Pavilion dv1000, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't like it, dislike the video. If you liked it, then go ahead and like it, but I don't really care. Well, anyways, if you like this content, then stay tuned. I don't care if you subscribe or not, but highly encouraged because I kind of want to get popular. And yeah, I'm that desperate for that stuff. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.